Well, hey, Soph, how you doing?
Hey Nat, I'm good. How you doing?
Pretty good. I would love to start this episode by telling you a few fun facts about the place that we're going to today and see if you can guess where we're headed.
Fine.
Okay,
Start.
I'm going to give you one hint before the fun facts. It's a lake.
Ooh, that narrows it
Okay.
down.
So, number one, some say this lake has the best tasting water in the United States. Two, it has a few nicknames such as Big Blue and the Lake of the Sky.
Okay.
Three, this might help you a little more. It straddles two states, Nevada and California. Okay.
Mm.
Number four, we've got two more fun facts. Number four, it is the largest alpine lake in all of North America. That includes Canada, which is crazy to me, and
Wow.
the sixth largest in the United States. So, the largest alpine lake in all of North America and the sixth largest general, just largest lake, if that makes
Okay.
sense. So,
Have
two,
I been here? Oh wait, this isn't 20
I,
question. Oh,
well, yeah,
oh,
well,
I ruined it for myself. No, it's not fair.
Well,
Ah,
you love no matter what I'm doing to be like, but is it this? Is it that? Like, what about this? What about
yeah,
that? I love that.
I
Your
don't know. It's
curiosity, it's a
me
part.
always trying to
Okay, well,
weasel it out.
let me see if I can give you one more hint to finally give you the last thing. So it is over 2 million years old, making it one of the 20 oldest lakes in the world. I realized
Hmm.
that probably didn't narrow it down much.
I'm thinking because of the
Old and
geographic.
super big, basically. But I think the main hint that will help you is that it straddles two states,
Yeah, straddles two states. The
Nevada.
geographic location of it.
And
I'm
to,
I'm
I don't know if you've been here. It's possible. I think you've mentioned going here before, but I don't want to say yes just in case for some reason you're like, is it this? But I'm fairly certain, I'm like 99% sure that you have been here. So,
Okay, if I've been there and it straddles two states and it's that big and that old, I'm gonna have to go with one of the only lakes I've been to on the West Coast, which is Lake Tahoe.
did it, girl. Okay.
Girl!
You got it. All right, points for Sophia.
Ding
Amazing.
ding ding. All right.
So proud of you. And obviously, the people listening to our episode already knew what it was because it's in the title. But you didn't have that privilege. So well done. I will tell you, I did not know that it straddled two states. I fully thought that Lake Tahoe was only in Nevada. So when I took this trip to California, to visit my boyfriend and his show, which we talked about the beautiful area of California that he was in on our last episode. And I didn't even think of Lake Tahoe as being an option for visiting. And he was like, hey, like this is only a couple hours away. Like we could do a day trip to Lake Tahoe. And I was like, are you kidding me? Yes, please. Like, yes. So that I will say, gosh, I loved San Francisco so much, but Lake Tahoe was really special. And I
Yeah.
think that it also it being so old and so large, and I mean it is famous. It's a very famous lake in our country. Most people have heard of it. I think most people probably associate Lake Tahoe with like extreme sports like skiing. I think a lot of people would think of it more
Yeah.
in like it's it's mountain area that people
Mm.
are more familiar with as far as like those kinds of activities, but it is just beautiful to explore. And I was there in the middle of the summer, so there was not really any skiing to be had, but Lake Tahoe is absolutely stunning and we've both been there, so we both have it in our minds. We know like what it looks like and how beautiful it is, and it offers so many different places and things to do and enjoy, such as the hiking areas, waterfalling, and I mean, other water activities, especially.
Hmm.
It's such a huge lake, so you can drive around it and stop at any given area. But the spot that I was told was really beautiful and was closest to where I was in Sonora was actually South Lake Tahoe, and
Hmm.
specifically an area called Emerald Bay. And
Ooh.
my brother and his wife had gone to Lake Tahoe the previous year, I think, or maybe sometime last year. I'm pretty sure her brother and sister-in-law got married in the area. And
Hmm.
so they ended up exploring and they were like, oh my gosh, you've got to go to Emerald Bay. So when I found out that Emerald Bay was on the more south side, I was like, yes, yes, please. So Emerald Bay was not only the spot that a bunch of people told me to check out, but it was a spot that when I looked up Lake Tahoe and South Lake Tahoe, it was just like plastered everywhere. Go to Emerald Bay, go to Emerald Bay. So I was like, okay, perfect. So Emerald Bay has a lot of different vantage points that you can hike slash walk up to. So once we got there, we just like explored all over. We parked our car and we just like walked and hiked everywhere. There were gorgeous waterfalls. I mean, the the vista is so, so beautiful. I mean, it truly is utterly captivating. And it's all these winding roads through the mountains to get to like any part of the lake, no matter where you are in Lake Tahoe, which again, it's massive, but you're always going to be driving through these windy mountain roads, which growing up in the mountains of North Carolina, I'm really familiar with winding roads. I know a lot of people will get sick,
Yeah.
and sometimes I will get a little like, whoa, okay. But I think when you're traveling to Lake Tahoe, just remember that you are going to be driving on a lot of mountainous roads. So,
Bring your Bonnie.
yes, exactly. Just make sure, like, if you need your peppermint oil or your Dramamine or whatever, just know that, like, obviously it's so fresh. And once you get out of the car, you're immediately just like, I mean, I literally am taking a breath just thinking about it, just like, you feel like you can breathe in the air and it's so, so fresh. And
Yeah.
I was pretty
Cold.
much immediately cured of any sort of like, oh, mountainous roads kind of feeling like car sickness once I got out. But again, growing up in the mountains, I was pretty familiar with that. But any part of the lake that you're going to, as I said, you're going to be driving in mountainous roads. But we stopped a few other places along the way as we were going toward Emerald Bay just to grab, some photos at some photo op areas and just to see like different parts of the lake before we hit Emerald Bay. But Soph, would you like to know some history
Oh,
about the
yes, please. Yes.
Okay, so I think we mentioned volcanic activity when we talked about the gold rush
Mm-hmm. And Sonora.
episode in Sonora. And so Lake Tahoe's history also includes volcanic activity as well as glaciation. There's
Ooh,
a word for it.
glaciation.
And
Glaciation.
California in general, but specifically the Lake Tahoe and Nevada area. The history is rich in Native American tribes and Native American culture. So, with the volcanic activity, basically lava from Mount Pluto on the north shore of the lake formed a dam across the Truckee River, which created a lake that was much higher than the current lake. And eventually, a new outlet eroded through the lava dam that created the lower Truckee River. And that
Wow.
then became Lake Tahoe. So it had to do with this lava dam, which I'm like, what? Like, I've never even heard of a lava dam before.
No, me
That's so, I
neither.
mean, I'm sure like s- different areas of the world that often have mountains exploding and volcanic
Oh,
activity probably know about these kinds of situations, but a lava dam is not a situation I was familiar with. So I thought that was really cool.
yeah.
And then during the Ice Age, glaciers formed in the V-shaped canyons on the western side of the lake that reshaped them into the U-shaped valleys. So it's just and we talked about this in our other episodes, but it can't go unsaid that the terrain in this area is so fascinating, and the fact that it involves glaciers and lava, volcanic activity, like all of that, just creating this beautiful, beautiful area is so wild to me. Again, not having grown up in an area where you hear about glaciation and volcanic activity, people that live in this area, it's just like that's not news to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like for any of our travel brats that are from this area of California, like you guys are like, well, yeah, duh, right? Like this is just normal land history to us. But I also found it fascinating, aside from the landscape and how it was created, that archaeologists believe that people first came to the area seasonally at least 9,000 years ago, and that semi-permanent communities later developed. So, like, this area is just so rich and so deep in our native cultures. And so the Washoe tribe of Nevada and California consider themselves to have always been in the Lake Tahoe area, which they call Big Water in their language,
Mm,
which makes sense. Again, a lot of the nicknames have to do with how big this lake is.
right.
For centuries, this tribe camped, hunted fish, and gathered all that they needed. Um, from the lake and around the lake, especially their medicinal plants, which they considered to be sacred. So they can considered Lake Tahoe to be very sacred land, very precious land, and they always, as you hear about in these cultures, there were rituals that they would practice before they hunted, and they had celebrations before catching their first fish of the season.
Mm.
And what's interesting is that these archaeologists and historians have discovered that these particular tribes respected this area and this land and this lake so much that they actively, even thousands of years ago, worked toward not depleting the fish populations. Isn't that
Wow.
crazy?
Yeah.
I just feel like
Wow.
the knowledge and the wisdom that these peoples had in this area that can so often be overlooked, and we see that being overlooked a lot in later centuries, especially in the 1800s and 1900s, where it was all about just like cut everything down, get everything you can, do all the hunting, kill everything, and we've started to see, really, as of, I think, Teddy Roosevelt represented a new kind of like, we need to actually be preserving things better and
Take
harkening
care.
back to the early peoples of these lands. And so I wanted to just honor the Native American culture that existed in this area because it is so precious and
Mm.
so
Well,
important.
that's a great point. I think, by preserving this beautiful area, we get to enjoy it now, you know? Can you imagine if we let people come in and cut all the trees down around Lake Tahoe?
Yeah.
It's like, so it's spectacular. I mean, I love it. That's really cool, though. I didn't know a lot of the cultural side of it.
Yeah, and I think that this area does a really good job because obviously they've got all these tourists coming in.
Hmm.
They have all these different things that people can do, but they really value the land and they want to make sure that the land activities are part of the experience and kept, I don't want to say sacred necessarily. There may not be as much sacredness in how the land is used, but yeah, I love that kind of depth
Yeah,
history. So,
respected and preserved. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
it just really feels when you're driving around, you really feel that. And the beauty is so expansive that you can't help but just, feel so small and feel so just like in awe of everything that you're seeing. And so as far as Emerald Bay goes, like that was such a spectacular experience that I would have been fine with just enjoying that part of Lake Tahoe, but I do want to talk a little bit about some of the other aspects that are a little bit more commercial, a little bit
Yeah.
more, shopping and gambling and things like that. Sophia, have you ever heard of a place called Heavenly Village?
I have not, Nat. Tell me more.
So, this beautiful area of South Lake Tahoe is not only lovely to walk around during the day or the evening, but one of my favorite things to do anywhere that I see these things is to catch a gondola ride.
Ooh,
Do you love a gondola ride?
I
Okay,
love a good summer
so
gondola ride.
Heavenly Village is connected to Heavenly Ski Resort, which you can ride the gondola year round. And of course, we were there during the summer. So you're seeing a very different version of the mountains than you would see during like ski season.
Hmm.
But this area, as we said, is known for ski season. So Heavenly Ski Resort is a big deal. But the Heavenly Village is like, it's so. Have you, okay, if you've ever been to, I'm trying to think of like a Colorado town or like Banff up in Alberta, like
Hmm.
these like ski resort towns where you walk around and there's all these cute shops and these cute restaurants and they have, especially during the summer, they have little outdoor areas where you can like do activities and like
Yeah.
it's just so fun to
Yeah.
shop and hang out and walk around and you can again you're able to buy like touristy things or you can do like the less touristy things, but Heavenly Village truly was very heavenly. Like I think they hit it right with the name because it was just so lovely and like I can only imagine during the winter time how truly magical it would be just
Mm.
having it snow everywhere and people all wrapped up in their clothes and drinking hot chocolate while they're walking around shopping. And
Yeah.
so I think year round it would be really special, but it was really fun in the summer just because you're, you know, not you're not having to be in all of your winter clothes. You know, it's less cumbersome. So I was like, oh, in my little, like hiking outfit and we just went from hiking to shopping around and like seeing all these little spots. And so I really really loved that. And for those of you who don't love skiing and would prefer some of the indoor activities. Now, this is not necessarily my preferred indoor activity, but I do know that a lot of people go to Nevada for this. So this is not on the California side, but it is on the Nevada side. And yes, it's gambling.
Money, money,
So
money
must be funny.
in
And
a rich man's world.
we will sing the entirety of this ABBA song if you don't stop us.
If I
But
was a rich girl, you want us to keep going? Just
my
kidding.
gosh, just play the like in Pitch Perfect.
Yeah. I would go gambling in Lake Tahoe.
Now, so yeah, I did not go to Lake Tahoe to gamble because first of all, I didn't go there to ski either. I mean, like I said, I was there in the summertime. And so my whole thing was wanting to just hike and walk around and drive up the mountains and see the lake itself and see the different vistas. But we did go inside some of the casino areas just to see what it was all about because I was like
Yeah.
intrigued. Like I've never been to Nevada, I've never been to California, like I've never like seen this kind of scene. So yeah, I just wanted to go into some of these bigger hotels and see what it looked like. And it's what you think it's gonna be. I mean, it
Hmm.
definitely is not anything crazy. And yet it was pretty cool. Like it wasn't Las Vegas, obviously. And as I said, I've never been to Nevada, so I've never seen Las Vegas only in videos and pictures, but it still had that that vibe that like you think of when you think of Las Vegas. It was just kind of like a mountain version vibe, you know? So we like got dressed up and went out and like walked around
I
that
like
evening
it.
and just kind of stopped in and saw what the gambling was about.
Viva Nevada. Just kidding. Lake Tahoe.
This is our surprise. We're gonna hit you with random songs episode.
Heavenly Village. You're like, all right, that's enough, Sia. Settle down now. Settle down. Well, okay, this is cool to just experience. And also, I think that you made a good point with the summertime where I think probably more people I know would want to go there in the summer and maybe gamble, yes, but also like hiking, biking, all the stuff there is to do in the summer.
All of the outdoor
Yeah.
activities, exactly.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like, yeah, I think most people, if they want to go gambling somewhere that is famous for gambling, they're not necessarily gonna go to Lake Tahoe. They're gonna go to Las Vegas, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or for that matter, they're gonna go somewhere like Cherokee, North Carolina. I keep bringing North Carolina up in all these California episodes, but there are definitely more famous gambling areas to go to. However, because half of the lake is in Nevada, there is gambling all throughout the Nevada side. So we hopped over to Nevada just to see what it was all about. But as you said, so most people that are going to Lake Tahoe, you're going to be spending time outside. That's probably the reason why you're going there. And if so, you're going to want, as far as what to wear and what to prep, you're going to want to bring a lot of good hiking clothes, a lot of good layering things, because during the day, at least in my experience, being there in the middle of August, like early middle August, it was super warm and super pleasant during like the middle part of the day, but it got cold fast. I mean, the morning
Mhm.
was cold. And by the afternoon, I was like, oh, I mean, I had been walking around, so my blood was pumping and I was getting warm. But it's like the moment you get into shade, the moment you're under a tree, it's cool. You know,
Right.
so it's like very pleasant temperatures, but it's not your typical like, oh, it's the middle of summer in California, it's so hot. But in general, with it getting more chilly in the evenings, no matter what time of year you're there, especially like, yeah, you just don't think of like summertime, especially for those of us that live in Florida, like it will be 90 degrees during the day, but it'll only be 88 in the evening. Like
Right. You don't have to
you
change.
don't lose much in temperature when it gets to the evening time.
So, guys, California equals layers.
Layers. Yeah,
Lots of
that is
layers and
what
maybe
I
an
learned.
umbrella.
And maybe an umbrella. Yeah, like you just want to be prepared for it. But thankfully, while I was there pretty much the whole time, it was just like sunshine and beauty and wonderfulness. So maybe I got lucky, but I feel like August was a pretty solid like sunshine month to go to California.
Yeah.
But layer up, make sure to check your weather app. Always be ready to put something else on and then take it off and wrap it around your waist, especially when you're hiking. I typically will bring layers when I'm hiking because often you're cooler when you start the hike and hotter when you end the hike because you are moving your body.
Right.
But okay, to end this Lake Tahoe episode, if you are not already ready to jump on a plane and go to Lake Tahoe, guys, I'm going to give you my elevator pitch for Lake Tahoe.
Do
Okay,
it.
so
Shoot.
here we go. Lake Tahoe is a natural wonder nestled in the Sierra Nevada mountains, offering a unique blend of breathtaking beauty and endless outdoor adventures. Picture crystal clear waters surrounded by towering pine forests with stunning mountain vistas at every turn. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or a leisure seeker, Lake Tahoe has something for everyone. For nature
Wow.
lovers, the lake itself is a playground for water activities like kayaking, paddleboarding, and boating. Hiking trails abound, ranging from serene lakeside strolls to challenging alpine treks with panoramic views. Some of my favorite views, truly, that I've ever seen. In winter, Tahoe transforms into a winter wonderland, boasting world-class skiing and snowboarding across multiple resorts with powdery slopes that cater to all skill levels. Beyond its natural splendor, Lake Tahoe offers a vibrant culinary scene, which we didn't really talk about much, but just so you know, there's great food featuring farm to table dining experiences and local breweries. So good. The region is rich in culture and history, as we talked about, with charming towns like Tahoe City, and South Lake Tahoe, where I went, offering shops, galleries, entertainment options that reflect both its rustic past and modern allure, which I really loved. So, whether you're seeking relaxation or adventure, I think Lake Tahoe's year round appeal makes it an ideal destination. So, go there, Discover why it's not just a destination, but an experience that captivates visitors from around the globe. But
Wow, Natalie, are you like a voice actor or something? That
Hi.
was very impressive. If you
Thank
guys need an ad,
you guys a
hire
little.
us. Hire Natalie's voice and my hand gestures.
Yeah, if you're watching the
My
video,
jazz
you can
hands.
see Sophia's jazz hands, not the jazz hands. Thank you for your jazz hands. It was so delightful.
You're
But true,
welcome.
I hope that that was a good pitch, guys, because it's a very special place, and I hope that I get to go again and actually stay for a longer amount of time.
Well, I'm going because I was just inspired.
Yes, I did it. I won someone over.
Travel Brats, we hope you're inspired as we are, and we will catch you next time.
Yeah, we love y'all. Thanks for joining us on our California series.
Peace out.